say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. To the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find no better one. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find a better one. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. To the edge of it all. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find a better one. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Before it flies.
Hey, I'm Murph. And that's me. Wow.
What's up, guys? It's Shea, and that's me.
Whoa.
What's up, guys? This is Rob, and hey, that's me.
This is you, Rob.
Oh, sorry.
That was
Guys, we switched it
beautiful.
I forgot I was first. My
I know. I
bad.
was looking at your picture. I'm
Well,
like,
that's
oh,
me.
do I have to say and welcome to the waiting table? I guess, yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I will say it now. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we have roundtable discussions about the hottest topics in weight loss with, of course, the coolest people from the bariatric community. I'm Rob, we got Murph, we got Shea, and of course, we got you guys. So grab a chair, wind down from your busy day, and take a seat at the table. Murph, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going good.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
Shea.
We weren't ready for that.
Man.
Shay, what's up?
Oh, I stopped the
It's a
music.
dance-
so
it's a
now I
dance
just
off.
now I just look weird.
It's a dance off. I threw it up to you.
Oh, there you go. Go.
How about you, Rob?
Rob's over there. I don't know.
I am awesome, guys. Thank you for asking. This is exciting. We got
I feel
everyone
like-
here.
I know. I feel like we're like a clunky bunch tonight, but it's kind of funny. But
Yeah.
I like
Just
it.
rolling with it. Just
Rolling with
Right?
it.
Back to the good old days of only Instagram and
Mhm.
doing it and not working and all that stuff. So that's
I know.
Yeah.
fun.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
what did you guys think? It was great to have Mary on and to see her for a happy half hour.
Yeah.
But like it is kind of clunky, but I like having people be able to come on. So maybe it'll just get better the more we practice and do it
Yeah.
more.
I jumped on
Yeah,
here
you
first
guys.
originally, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Where's everybody?"
Yeah.
And then I got a notification on Instagram, so then I went to get on, and then it like all just fell apart. And I was like, "Why can't I get on?" And I'm just
I
crunching,
know.
and yeah, but hey,
We're here now. And
This
that's
is
all
only
that matters.
maybe by our fifth season we'll have it down.
Yes, I think
Born of
so.
Science. Yeah, I think I have
Maybe.
high hopes for the 5th season.
Well, before we jump in, I know tonight we're talking about pre-op, and if we can remember that far back for, us, it's been a little while now. But before we jump into that, we have some exciting announcements. Do you guys want to share?
God, I thought you were gonna say you had a game planned, and so I got really nervous for a second.
I always
Like-
at least
like,
tell you
oh,
guys before. I
okay.
always give you like a warning, like, hey, we're gonna do a game, get ready. But no, we have an exciting announcement. Who wants
Yes.
to share it?
Murph does.
I do.
Woohoo! What's up?
What's the announcement? I don't know what the announcement is. We didn't
About-
rehearse this.
Shea does.
So we are going to. Well, we were about the thing with JVYs.
Yeah.
One.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
That's only one I had planned.
I didn't know if we had other announcements. 'Cause I'm thinking like you guys already announced that you're competing in the thing. So new announcement. And God, what an honor. What a privilege again to be nominated for Bariatric Podcast of the Year. Is it the best bariatric podcast? Is it the same one as last time?
I think so. Yeah, bariatric podcast. I don't know if that one has
Rockstar.
rock stars. I know. I
It's
think
Rockstar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is it for?
Yeah, and if it doesn't, we are making
We
sure
will
it has a
make
rock
it
star.
a
Yeah,
rock
yeah.
star.
It's gonna have a Rockstar. Yeah.
Yeah. And we made top 5, which is so exciting. And
Yeah.
like you said, just such an honor. And I think what's so exciting is seeing the other podcasts too who've been nominated. Like, because when you guys first started this, there weren't very many. And now I feel like there's so many cool people that have stepped up, and it's cool to we're like becoming the veterans now in a way.
Right?
It's weird.
Yeah. And I am so excited. Thanks for the nomination, everybody.
Mhm.
And to be nominated last year, 2023, and to be in the top 5 with some of the
OGs.
podcasts that we look up to,
Yeah.
and then we won, and it was just mind blowing. But now it's like we're all winners.
Mhm.
And it's all just such a great community, and I cannot wait to see who wins this year. And I'm more excited. I don't know, in a weird way. Like, I hope it's not us. I can't wait to see. I want to celebrate with somebody else, for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it was so amazing. It was such an amazing experience. Why am I already crying? It was just such an amazing experience to climb that so quickly, and to be, I don't know if we were the underdogs or we were the newcomers or what, but like we got that top spot, and it just felt so amazing and gave us a push to just keep going and to keep doing what we're doing. And and so I'm excited for whoever is going to win this year.
Mhm.
Because that just means that they're just, the bar is just going to keep getting risen and raised and risen. I don't know how you would
all
say
of
that,
them, all of them.
but
Highs, lows, grows,
Oh,
I just want to bring that back every time.
and then Shea,
Mhm.
are we talking about this? Are
We can talk
with the nominations?
Sure. Mhm.
Okay, so Shea, you were nominated for 2 categories again.
Yep. So living with PCOS Rockstar, and mental health, which I was so excited and again honored to be a part of it and be recognized in that way. That's very, very cool and special. And then Rob got 2 as well. What did you get?
Yeah. I received top 5 nominations for male body positivity rockstar, which is awesome. And the one that actually I remember last year thinking I would love to win this or be nominated for this, which is male fitness rockstar. So I was nominated for that. So I thank you guys all very much. And I'm super excited to just be up there with some amazing people who have gone through the journey too. So
And then Murph, what were yours?
I was nominated for 2. but one had to be taken away.
Oh no.
So I was nominated for mental health.
Oh, that's right.
Mental health rock star.
Yes.
And then they said no, he is not a mental health rock star. So they took that. No, I'm just kidding.
He is too wild.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that nomination. I just what an honor again to be seen as somebody that is seemingly battling or handling mental health in a positive way.
Well, I think you're so outspoken, though. I think sharing your story, having mental health or keeping mental health in mind doesn't mean that we're perfect at it or that we're like amazing. It's just like sharing your story about it and getting through.
Yeah, the category is not perfect mental health.
No,
it's not based on my track record, right? But how important mental health is, and I'm always the first one to say, if I could go back and tell my older self, one thing, to help myself along this journey, it would be to get your mental health in check first. But the second thing I was nominated for, this was an honor, but also kind of funny, was RNY rock star. I didn't have RNY though. I had VSG. I had the gastric sleeve. So I talked.
You just give the vibe, though.
Yeah, you have an RNY vibe.
Yeah, you do.
Is that it?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Do I look like an RNY kind of guy?
Yeah.
I think so.
So I didn't have RNY. Thank you for the nomination. I had BSG, and so I talked to the ladies about it, and they had to retract that nomination.
Are you considering getting a revision to RNY so you can accept the award? Has that been a consideration?
I think I have time.
You have time. You might as well.
I'll talk to my surgeon, the whole team, and hey guys, I'm nominated for this award. I gotta really earn it. And so
feel like this isn't for my health or anything, but like I really need to be here for this award thing, and I got nominated. So
so we all got nominated for 2 individual awards, and then the podcast received a nomination. And
did we have 7 last year?
And we were each nominated for 2 last year.
No.
Yeah.
They had more categories last year too, though.
Yeah. Okay, wait, maybe I know Murph, you were nominated
15.
for I know.
I was nominated for 2, and the podcast was nominated for 2, and then you were
I was nominated for 1.
I was 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
2, 4,
6. So 6 last year.
Yeah.
And we came home with the crystal.
I know, that was pretty cool.
That was really awesome. What an awesome experience. Unfortunately, and if you guys watched last week, I think we talked about it. I'm getting remarried this year. We're going on a vacation this year. We got a lot of things going on. So the one thing that I can't attend this year is the JVYs. So I will not be attending, unfortunately. So I'll have to.
I was already thinking of what we're gonna do. I
Murph blow-up doll.
Oh, that's even better than what I was thinking.
It's better than a cutout.
That's what I was. Yeah, I like
full blow-up doll.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like
Put a mustache, get a mustache.
Yeah, and then we can auction it off at the end of the night because you got fans though.
Oh, that's creepy though.
No, but no, I'd be honored.
Please. No.
Well, I know you would, but I don't think
we'll have a giveaway alive, and then it's like follow Murph's losing it and the waiting table and JBY, and we'll do a live draw.
Oh wow. Yeah,
that's a thought. I won't let him do that, Murph. Don't worry. I'll manage that.
Thank you, Shea.
Situation.
I trust you, Shea. I appreciate that. Good Lord.
So yeah, you will be included, but just in a different kind of way, but it'll be good.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's all super exciting stuff. I can't believe it.
I know voting opens February 1st, so be on the lookout for that. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Sweet.
Well, this is kind of I'm going to make this into a good segue, thinking about where we are now, but then reflecting back on where we were pre-op, I feel like a lot has happened in between that time. So we've been talking with different people who are just thinking about this weight loss surgery, considering it, or maybe are in the early stages, have a date planned. And so I thought it would be fun if we reflected back on our pre-op journey. What were we concerned about? What are some of the things we wish we would have known? And just kind of go from there. So if anybody has questions, or if you have advice, or you want to share different things that you've learned for keeping in mind for somebody who's newer in the process, feel free to put that in the comments. But yeah, who wants to kick it off on pre-op journey? Rob, you were the farthest back. Do you even remember what that was like?
No, so as much as I joke that no, I don't, I sort of don't. Right, like I do remember, and again, because we're in Canada, it's a bit different in regards to the whole vetting process. It was supposed to be a 2 to 3 year process in Canada to go through everything, have all your interviews with the dietitian, the nurse practitioner, the surgeon, the psychologist, social worker, all of that, to make sure that it's a right option for you. But I know for me, I was very hesitant to do it because I still had this mentality that I could do it myself. And even though I had that conversation with myself saying, no, you can't, because you would have done it in the past 10 years and there's nothing wrong with going this route. Like I still sort of treaded lightly. And so I went to each meeting or presentation just with the mindset that, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I just want to see. And then as it sort of went on, I was just like listening to other people and what they were saying and the questions they were asking. I'm like, holy shit, that's me. I'm like, that's pretty much me. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I actually called every day for cancellations to see if I can get it done sooner, or at least get to the next step sooner to make a decision. And yeah, like there was a lot of concerns. And, if we're thinking about things that we wish we knew back then that we know now, like we talk about this a lot. And I know a lot of us have done this. It's the whole food funeral where it's just like, oh, I'm never going to eat this again. And there are some things that, I can't eat as much, but I don't think there's anything that I cannot eat in general, right? There are things that I choose not to eat. But yeah, that wasn't the case for me. And I know for some people it's not the case. And I think reframing based on education and understanding would have been very helpful. Just understanding that this is to get to a specific point where I don't need that help anymore, and I can build up my ability to make these decisions myself, right? So for me, it wasn't about like, oh, I can't eat all this anymore. It's just like, no, I'm doing this to get me to a starting point. Dee had said it, I think, previously, like we're all in the same race, but we are starting behind. Like this gives us the ability to start at the same starting line.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important. And that's the big thing. Like I thought I went into it with a really good mindset, but I still see now that there are certain things that I could have been more educated on in regards to the process. I thought I was really kind to myself, which was good. Like I had a lot of patience. I didn't try not to get too caught up with the comparisons, because I think that's very hard on people, because you see how other people are doing. You're like, oh my god, they lost 6 pounds this week and I only lost 4. 4 pounds is a lot of weight to lose in a week, right? Like if you stopped and asked yourself, when's the last time I lost 4 pounds in a week, the answer would probably be never, if it wasn't just water on your first week of dieting. And that is something that should be celebrated, as opposed to like looked down upon as not good enough, right? But it's hard. That's the mentality we had. I think the biggest thing I would have done, and I've said this previously, is I wouldn't have been in such a rush to lose the weight. I did a lot of exercise. I did a lot of endurance training, and with very minimal calories, just because we didn't have a choice. And as a result, I lost a ton of muscle. And it was a lot more time and effort to build that up again, versus try to be smarter with how you're burning your calories. It's just, it's exciting. I can move again. I can do stuff. I can walk. I can do all the things I haven't been able to do for the last 10 years. It's hard to stop and say no, but there's a reason why I know in our program, they're like, for the first year, just walk
Mm-hmm.
and then get into things afterwards. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I can ride 100 kilometers now, which is like 64.3 miles. I don't know. I made that up. I should probably find that out.
That's a lot though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I feel like it's very easy to start this journey or treat it as like another diet. And I feel like that a lot of programs are kind of geared towards that. And that's something I wish I would have realized. Like I still tried to go into it having more of like a holistic mindset. And the reason I got surgery was a lot more than just to lose weight. And so I think that helped. But I think the biggest thing was realizing that like, oh, this is like a time to learn how to trust myself and what my needs are. And I was so rigid and strict on myself, following my program's guidelines, like very, very strict, to where I was ignoring what my body was trying to tell me. And so like just an example of that was, I know I've talked about this before, but like the first 3 months after surgery, like I had nonstop bleeding, like, period, basically. You guys love when I bring this up. But like nonstop bleeding for like the first 3 months. Nobody ever told me that happens. And that can be a normal thing. I'm not a doctor, but look at the research yourself and you can see it, where just like it's a lot, it can be estrogen dumping. And as you're losing excess fat, that can just sometimes happen. But I didn't know that. And then, you're not supposed to, with my program, I wasn't supposed to eat any carbs in that time. But then I was working with a doctor and a nutritionist who was like, I know that's what your program says, but like you're losing a lot of blood, like you're feeling very fatigued and tired from that. Like, why don't we try some oatmeal, or why don't we try some sweet potatoes and see how you feel with that? And I think that's just one practical example of where I saw the program's guidelines weren't the Bible, the end all be all. Like I needed to do what was best for my own body and learn what that is, and know that, I might make mistakes and stuff, but ultimately it's like, I know what's best for my body, and like learning how to trust that. And so I wish I would have done that more, but it was all part of the learning experience.
Did you guys have anybody that pre-op, anybody that you knew that had success with bariatric surgery that you followed and were able to get some tools from or some advice from?
I did.
I did not.
Me neither.
Rob didn't either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it wasn't until I met Rob that I finally, and that and the other Rob, Waiting in Vain, or My Weight is History, Rob, that was when I was like, wait a minute, there are other men out there that are just like me. Like I had no idea. So, my journey was, it took me about 9 months to get bariatric surgery from the time that I got approved until I finally got it. Lots of miscommunication. I was on my own. I mean, I had to meet with a dietitian. I had to have, go to therapy, and I had to pass therapy, and I actually failed the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to do the psych eval and all that stuff all over again, and go through the therapy, the 6-week thing again. I missed a couple appointments because I couldn't make it on time, because they put the office on the top floor all the way in the back, and driving in my tiny little car and getting out the door and getting dressed, and it was hard getting to the appointments, so I had to reschedule some appointments. So it was a very long and drawn out process, and I had no idea what I was doing. And my doctor's office, even after the surgery, was just very, okay, good, goodbye, like you had surgery, we'll see you in a year, and then we'll see you in a year, and then we'll see you in a year. I didn't even go to my third appointment. And I followed a lot of, my third year appointment is what I meant to say. I didn't follow everything to the book. But I knew I wanted to do this right. Like I said during happy hour, you know, my wife was taking pictures of me, and it was either my success picture, my before picture, or it was going to be my obituary picture. You know, it was like I had no choice. I had to get this done right. And so I did my own thing, and I didn't know how else to do it. And so I started the walking, and I started cutting my portions in half. Was I eating healthy foods? Not really. I'm just being completely honest with you.
Yeah, that's as good.
You know, I would still eat the same things that I always ate, but just half of the portions. I would still have the ice cream, but half the ice cream, half the burger, half the pizza, half the whatever. And I started dabbling in proteiny type things, you know, and I didn't know anything
Proteinies.
about proteinies. I did make a proteiny one. But I started dabbling, and even during I think the thing that I stuck to the hardest, I failed at the most miserably, which was the 2-week liquid diet before surgery.
Yeah.
I've actually never shared this before with like anybody.
Let's hear it.
Secret? Ooh,
Listen,
secrets are coming out.
Listen, I did 13 days of straight liquid diet. On my 14th day, I ate pizza. The day before my surgery, I ate pizza as if I was never going to eat it again.
Wow.
And I regretted it like almost instantly because my stomach was not ready for that.
It was like all this liquid in the stomach. What is this?
I probably had 4 or 5 slices of pizza, which now would like put me down. Like I can have 2 at max if I don't have a breadstick. You know? But normally I just have 1 slice of pizza and 1 breadstick. But yeah, no, seriously, the day before my surgery, I pounded some pizza. And I cried, and I was emotional. I was so mad. And yeah. And then I even justified it in my head, like, well, that'll make my stomach bigger. So when they cut out 85% of my stomach, I'm tricking them. I'm tricking the system so they'll cut out more of my stomach.
Smart.
So they'll think that they're cutting out 85% of my stomach, but they're actually cutting out 95% of my stomach. So I'm gonna win, you know. And maybe that's why I lost so much weight so quickly. I don't know. I'm not an expert or a professional. Lily, what's up, girl?
Why doesn't it work?
Why doesn't it work, Rob? Come on.
There's no love in your heart. That's why. As you come and hug me, thank you.
Aww.
Look, Shea, no love.
No love.
Murph, you
in my
try.
heart.
No, I don't. It's not
No,
working
no,
on
no.
my end.
No.
I'm sorry.
Now here it is.
Line it up.
Boop, 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 boop. No, see,
No.
It doesn't have a filter.
He doesn't have it.
No.
We don't need filters.
It was
We have
working on
love.
Instagram when Marcus came in
Right.
earlier.
Yeah, it works for Marcus because
It worked for Marcus.
There's love in his heart.
There's love in Marcus.
There's
Okay,
love in
okay.
Marcus's
I
heart.
love you.
Hey, 50,000 people are watching.
I don't care.
Oh gosh. Hey, you can't get 2 rounds here, man. You just stop being a creep and just looking from over there. Just go.
Dad.
Hi.
I can't wait to tell him I can't wait to see him in June and hang out.
Hi, Marcus.
Shea said she can't wait to see you in June and hang out.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
ask Marcus
I
if he
want
knows the
to.
Muffin Man.
Do you know who he talked about it the whole ride home at night the next day? I think he brought it up at school. Marcus, do you know who the Muffin Man is?
Yeah.
He was just like, he's like, can we have a sleepover? I'm like, why? Because you're scared of the friggin' Muffin Man? I said, yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Okay, go, man. Bye.
So,
Bye.
Shea, I don't know if you know this, but the Muffin Man actually literally existed back in the late, I don't know if it was 1700s or 1800s, and he like knocked off a bunch of people, like a lot of his muffin making competition, and like kidnapped children. And so they made the song to
the Muffin
to
Man?
scare children to stay away from Drury Lane. True story.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is scary. I'm scared. I'm gonna need a sleepover with Dylan tonight.
I was sharing that with my older kids, and my littler kids came in the room and were very intrigued by it. And then they passed that knowledge on to Marcus at the dinner table, and so
Wow.
we talked about the Muffin Man for like an hour. Like,
Yeah, long.
Marcus would just pop back into the conversation. We're talking about something else, and he'll just be like, "So the Muffin Man."
Yeah.
Like he asked.
He's like, I need to know all the facts of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He literally asked me. He's like, "So Murph, did you know the Muffin Man?"
Yeah. And then he was just like, he's like, oh, but his kids. Well, what about his kids? Are his kids like that too? Are they bad?
Right. Right. Yeah. He's just
And
like,
I was just like, dude, like they're dead. They're all gone. He's like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Because like,
sure,
how
man?
can you know
Well, those are
that?
vampires.
I don't
Maybe
know.
vampires.
I don't
They're
know.
vampires now too. So
I'll talk with him about it. We can get some. We can
Talk about the
sort
Muffin
through
Man.
some of
talk
that.
about yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He
a,
needs
it's
to
a
talk.
scary subject.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I try to stick to the plan, as best I could, and I feel like I did good. Before I had my surgery, I actually lost 120 pounds.
That's wild.
In that 9 months, I was just walking more. I was getting about 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, just walking around my front yard. And I did this thing called post to post, where I'd touch one post of the fence and I'd walk all the way around the corner. We had a corner lot, and I'd walk around the other corner and touch that post, and that was 50 steps.
Did your East Post have beef with the West Post, or how did that work?
It was the East Post and the South Post.
Oh.
But or no, it would have been North Post actually. But no, it was it was 50 steps, and so if I did that back and forth, it was 100, and I would just do that before and after every meal, and then just chugging water, and I lost 120 pounds before my surgery, and to the pound, and so I was like, all right, I can do that. I can cut my portions in half, and man, I didn't know what I was talking about. That's some aggressive typing, Shea.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're so angry. Holy.
Wow.
I was emailing the Muffin Man about
Those
something.
those didn't sound like happy fingers.
No, it's like, you leave Marcus alone.
Stay away, Muffin Man. Don't
Stay
scare
away,
Marcus.
Muffin Man.
Sorry, I'll mute next time.
No, it's all right. That's all right. So to each their own, and that's the one thing that I've definitely learned on this whole journey is what works for Rob
Yes.
isn't going to work for me, isn't going to work for Shea. Everybody, you got to do what works for you. Find out what works for you. I know now, and I found out early, that bread was not my friend. I needed to find another way to get carbohydrates. Bread was
like bread that you eat, or the band.
Yeah.
Bread is a band. Yeah, I forgot about that. No,
true.
Bread, what you eat, especially white.
But the band was okay after surgery, just to clarify. That was fine. Okay.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Is Bread a band for real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wanna make it with you. But then people change it to Bake It because their name is Bread.
Oh.
I don't get it.
You would know their songs. You would know them.
You'd know because you're old.
I guess. Well, if Shea knows, I mean, Shea is almost
a week from today.
Yeah.
I'll be
Shea.
30.
She'll be 30. The big 3-0.
Damn.
Can't believe it.
Sucks, bro.
I'm sorry, Shea.
I'm
It's
excited.
It's just like your 20s with a little bit more Tylenol and aspirin. That's really it.
What I've heard people say is it's like your 20s, but typically you have a bit more money, which is kind of more fun.
That's
I'm
cool
like,
too.
I like that.
That's cool too.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not so panicky over every expense,
Mm-hmm.
I find. So
I
30s
don't
are
remember.
good.
I don't remember.
I know. That was
The
a while
20s?
ago for you guys.
Yeah, man. That's 20 years ago, man, when I was 20. Holy crap.
It was 23
21.
More than 20 years ago.
21.
23 years ago for me. 22.
Damn,
22
you're
years
old,
ago.
bro.
What Shay, do you have plans for your 30th birthday? I remember exactly what I did on my 30th. It was a big
Do
day.
you?
What was
I
yours?
want to say too, Autumn is asking some great questions.
Oh, yeah.
We'll share them. I just wanted to make sure she knows. We're going to loop back around to those. So my 30th birthday, we are going to be in Las Vegas, and I'm very excited.
Whoop.
We go to Vegas a bit because we have family who has a house down there, but usually when we go, it's with a bunch of family, and we like kind of just go along with what other people are doing. But since it'll just be me and Dylan and a couple other friends, we're doing like everything that I want to do. So we're doing roller skating. We're going to go do dinner in the dark. Have you heard of that? It's like,
Yes.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but
Yeah.
that should be fun. I think we're going to get massages. We're going to go to Giada's, if anybody knows who Giada is.
I do.
From the Food Network.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
What else? I think we're going to go see a show. Not sure what yet, but Shania Twain is there and Garth Brooks, which I'm not like a huge country fan, but they're in a different category for me because they're 90s country.
Their One Country was good.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're from Canada.
Oh, no,
well, not Garth Brooks, but Shania.
Is Shania?
Yeah.
Is Shania
Come
Canadian?
on now. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to fact check this.
Do it. I'll bet you. Mute
your mic first before you start.
Yeah.
Try to be quiet.
Is Shania Twain from
the Muffin Man?
Because
Serious,
Rob
right.
says she is, and I don't
Maybe
know.
Shania Twain is the Muffin Man.
Oh yeah.
Shania Twain.
Ask her if we
she
can be on
is
her show. I know.
Canadian singer-songwriter. She is.
Wow.
Yep.
You won this one, Rob.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
That Yale degree comes in handy.
Right?
Sometimes.
I do stuff. I know
Clutch.
stuff.
So anyway, I'm really excited. It's going to be a fun time. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's going to be fun.
Sweet. It sounds like a lot of fun. We gotta talk about the dinner in the dark thing. I've heard of it, but there's no videos on it, so.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just feel like it'll be a cool like sensory experience where it's like you don't see anything.
Right.
It's all just like you're tasting it and feeling it, I guess. And me and Dylan were talking about it. Like, I wonder if the food is like plated really, like if you were to see it, would you be like, oh, that looks horrible? Or if they do it, like, I don't know. We don't really know much about it.
They just give you a McDonald's cheeseburger and they're like, it's 5-star.
Delicious. Yeah. All right. Should we jump into some questions?
Yeah,
Sure should.
Okay. So Autumn has some awesome questions. She's looking into surgery and kind of getting started with things. So let's see. This first one we kind of talked a little bit about, but how bad is the liquid diet? Maybe this should go to me and Rob, not Murph. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Take it away.
More nervous about liquid diet more than surgery. So for me, I can say with my program, it was liquid for 2 meals, or it was like 2 protein shakes essentially, and then 1 what they called lean and green meal. So I could do like,
what the hell, really?
Yeah. So I could do like I think it was like 4 or 5 ounces, 4 or 5 ounces of like lean protein. So like chicken breast, sirloin steak, things like that. And then as many veggies as you wanted. So it was nice. Like,
yeah, that's what I do right now. That's you're on the
I'm on
diet, just the eating.
Yeah. But I will say, like, it was kind of hard, like with the protein shakes. Like the first, I would say few days, I remember feeling really like cloudy and just like not very good. Cause it's like, we're not designed to eat that few of calories. Like, and the purpose of being on the liquid diet is to help shrink your liver so they can perform the operation better. But it wasn't too bad, I think, because I was also excited. Like I was excited about the surgery. So I was like, ooh, this is fun. For me, the 2 weeks after were harder mentally than the 2 weeks pre-op. But yeah, how about for you guys?
For me, the liquid diet was probably the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
I found that because for me, I was allowed 3 shakes a day, no hand holding meat and veggies, and and it was I had 2 weeks. So it was difficult in the sense that, I also did have the food funeral where I had like huge meals the week leading up to it. And when I did the liquid diet, it was just like, okay, now I'm eating very little. And I felt instantly weak. I would say for the first 3 or 4 days, maybe 2 or 3 days, like I couldn't really function very well. I did find that the best thing for me was to find ways to make it feel more filling, and that was always to blend ice in it. So every single shake was like a slushy. I found that that was very helpful. I know some people used like the sugar-free and calorie-free sweeteners, like coffee syrups and stuff. I guess chose chocolate or vanilla and with ice. And yeah, so I found that that was hard. But after a couple of days, I did get used to it. I was still looking forward to it being done, but it was a challenge for sure.
Yeah. And we know how it went for Murph. So.
Yeah, he cheated. Like, let me shrink this liver only to blow it back up again.
No, I'm curious, or I know he's talking to somebody, but I'm curious if the Murph did the, or I'll ask it in a second.
I'm interested
I
in
wonder
talking
if
to
the
a
doctor
surgeon.
knew.
Yeah.
Did it like, because I mean, you cut up the stomach. There has to be some of the pizza still kind of left in there if it was the day before, right?
Yeah. And he's like, wow, this guy's liver is freaking huge. This guy didn't.
Well,
This guy
I don't
ate a
know.
pizza.
I don't know. I'm just more like curious.
What's going on?
No, I'm just.
What did I
Did
miss?
your surgeon say anything to you? Like, hey, I saw
Yeah,
there was
I like
pizza in
pepperoni
there.
too.
I got away with it scot-free, guys.
Okay, interesting.
Happened.
Not
They didn't
that
say
we're
anything.
recommending this, but
No,
I'm
do not
I'm curious.
do that.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I felt like garbage.
He's like, I got paid anyways.
I
I
was
don't
doing
care.
so good. The guilt has been eating me alive for 3.5
Now
years.
off your shoulders. It feels
Yeah,
so good.
you shared it. Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's
Man,
I love it.
That felt good. I don't know if it made a difference, honestly, and I know my diet for 2 weeks straight, from what I remember, was nothing but liquid. It was broths. Yeah. It was.
You had broths too?
Yeah, broth,
I did too.
chicken broth.
The hell.
It wasn't
Canada's
until
strict. I mean, what
it
can
wasn't
I
until
say?
after the surgery that it went from the broth and all the liquidy stuff, the protein shakes, and then it turned into, that's when it turned into like the
Soft.
it was like the soft mushy stuff, and then you could add some texture to it, and then you could start with like eggs and like shredded chicken, but even then it was only like 2 ounces. It was really small, and then it got up to 5 or 6 ounces, and then that was like it. And I don't know how much I eat now. I feel like I still eat about the same. I just eat crap. That's like my hardest thing, is like I'm I don't eat the good foods that I used to eat. I don't take the time to meal prep. I don't take the and then I'm not getting my steps in that I used to get when I was working. So like my cardio is really tanked, and now it's winter, and like I don't want to go outside.
I know, it's like hibernation time.
Yeah. So but anyways, pre-op, it's just, God, it's such a blur. And I know I've said that before, but it's like, I was just in so much pain with my back.
Yeah.
And like not sleeping, once I got on the sleep app, the CPAP machine, all of a sudden it was like I was sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was present. But everything prior to that, like I don't think I slept for more than, I mean, I know I didn't. My throat was a 3 out of 4 closed.
Yeah.
Whatever that scale is, it's like 4 is closed, and then 3, 2, 1. And so I was at a 3, plus the back pain, sleeping in a recliner. I didn't sleep with my wife for 3 years. 3 years of sleeping in a recliner, you know. But I don't.
Do you still use your CPAP, Murph?
No.
Like it's not needed.
Another thing I wouldn't recommend is stopping the CPAP when you feel like it. You should probably talk to a doctor before that first. I'm not a rule follower. I'm not.
I don't think I realized how rebellious you were until this conversation, I think.
I see a sign that says restricted area, and I've got to go in. I'm that guy. Like
Rob, I expect that 100%. I'm a little surprised. But
what, to be rebellious?
Yes.
Really? I'm like, follow the rules to a T.
Yeah,
Elise is the yin to my yang when it comes to that. She is, wherever we'll be, whatever the case is. Oh, like, okay, for instance, the puppy, right? The new puppy that we just got. Who is going to stop me from walking into a store with that puppy and say there's no puppies allowed in the store? I mean, have you seen the puppy? He's super cute. Nobody's going to stop me. And to prove my point, when she's not around, I take him to stores that say no puppy allowed or no dogs allowed, no animals allowed in the store. And I'm carrying around a puppy, and everybody, even the staff, will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, he's so cute." And I'm like, "See, like I told you,
Nobody cares.
Like nobody cares. Nobody cares." And so like I'm not a hardcore rule breaker. Don't call the cops or anything like that. I'm not doing anything nefarious. But it's like,
don't worry, the cops don't know. It's not like
nobody
public
cares,
or anything.
They're going to be following you around and just waiting to arrest you when you walk into the next grocery store with the puppy.
That's how my wife thinks. Like, that's how she thinks about things. It's like they are all out to get us. And I'm like nobody cares, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, with the CPAP, it got to a point where it was like I couldn't sleep with it on anymore.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if there was like maybe I needed to turn it down, or I needed to, find a new level, or maybe I needed to go back and get a sleep study again. But I can tell you this: I sleep through almost every night, and I feel great when I wake up.
Yeah.
And
well, it can like alleviate as you lose weight too.
I don't snore. I don't snore anymore. You know, and so it was like, okay, I think I'm good. And so I just quit using it. I would use it, every other night, and then it was just like, it's keeping me up. Like, it's I don't know what to do, and so I was just like, meh. And then I sold it in the garage sale.
Nice.
Perfect.
Which you're not supposed to do that.
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, we need to censor this whole
I know.
We might have to edit this one.
Yeah, Elise is like, what are you doing? You're gonna get us some trouble.
Yeah.
$5 I made off of that thing.
$5. There
Only
you go.
5? Those things are expensive.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
had a sleep study done afterwards.
Yeah?
I didn't need it anymore. I still, because I've turned it down significantly, I still use it when I'm tired. Like, I do find that if I'm super tired, then I will snore.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't wake up with the headaches that I used to. Like that fog. I remember before I got the CPAP, that fog and that headache that you'd wake up with is just like, oh my gosh, I can never go back to that. That was the worst.
That was every day, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Waking up and just feeling, and nothing would touch that headache. Nothing would touch the fog. I don't remember. And it was right around COVID too. So it's like you got that COVID brain fog thing going on, but at the same time, it was like, no, like even before COVID, I don't remember. Like there's pictures of me doing things or being places, and I'm like, when was that?
You weren't getting oxygen to your brain, so I'm not surprised.
It's gone. Yeah.
And then your stomach was too big for surgery, so like, sheesh, all of them.
You had everything stacked against you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Should we do some rapid fire questions?
Yes.
We got a couple more. How do you stay motivated?
Murph, go.
Yeah. Shea, go. These are rapid fire. I like it.
Rapid fire. I would say that I'm not always motivated. Like I think what's something that's been really helpful for me is establishing routines. That's something I've really focused on a lot this year. Something that I think gets in the way of motivation for me is when there's so many different options, and they call it like decision fatigue, where I get so like, oh my gosh, there's so many different ways I could do things or things that I can do that it's hard to pick. And so what I've tried to do is establish more of a routine, so I just don't have to think about it. Even when it comes to like meal prepping, I've done like a bunch of freezer meals where it's like, okay, I don't have to think about what we're doing for dinner. We have it set. And so I think that's one of the biggest ways that I stay motivated is it's just I have my routine and the things that I do, and I don't often think about it. That's been helpful for me.
Yeah, I would say there's a huge difference between motivation and dedication.
Mm-hmm.
You
should write a rap about that. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It's a lot harder to stay motivated if you're not dedicated to what your overall goal is, and that's, that's when you push yourself through. And I know something that we all talk about in this community is our our why, right?
Mhm.
And so the why is the reason that pushes you, and you become dedicated to that, and it becomes your job or your lifestyle change or whatever it is that you're going through, and it drives you to stay motivated. So you gotta find that why,
Yeah.
that reason for the dedication. And if you're not 100% dedicated to that reason, then you're not going to be motivated to do it. People aren't going to do things that they don't
Yeah.
want to do. You know, you've got to find a way to find out why you're doing it. You know,
Mhm.
what are you getting the bariatric surgery for? Is it because of health issues, or is it because you're sick of life passing you by, or is it because you want to ride roller coasters, or is it
Yeah.
because you want to look good in a bathing suit, or
Yep.
whatever it is? You know,
And
you
be
can
honest
find
with yourself, right? It could
Mhm.
be
and be
any of
honest.
those
Yeah,
things. Who cares if it sounds shallow?
yeah,
It's your life, it's your
Yeah.
decision, it's your reason. Like, do
yeah,
not worry about all that,
yep.
right?
And if you dedicate yourself to that thing, then you'll find reasons to stay
Yes.
motivated. You'll have that drive to stay motivated. And I'll be completely honest with you again, because this is honest hour, I guess, right? I have lost my motivation recently because I'm not
Mhm.
dedicated to any specific thing right now. I've lost the weight. I feel good. I can do push-ups. I can exercise. I did my fireman's test. Like, what is the next thing? And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to find and gather this motivation to from a desire of being able to take off my shirt when I go to the Bahamas in a couple months. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I'm trying to find that dedication to that goal, that specific reason. I want to take off my shirt at a beach
Mhm.
where nobody knows me, and I'm never going to see any of them again. And it sounds
Yeah.
super stupid
No.
because you know what I mean? Like, but I can't do it. I just
Mhm.
like it's that's so hard for me. And so
Mhm.
so I need to be dedicated to that idea, and I'm not fully dedicated to it yet. And it shows in my habits, my eating habits, my, lack of push-ups when I'm setting a daily goal for push-ups and I don't do it. You know what I mean? Things like that. So
Mhm.
that's the long, short answer.
Is it
Anyways,
just me? I feel like you were just spitting bars that whole time.
It is,
Like, I
man.
feel like if anybody is good at like remixing stuff, can you just turn what Murph said into like
Yeah.
a rap song? Like that was like you were like spitting, and I
Right.
liked it.
I liked
spitting
it.
game, yo.
Mhm.
There you go. Don't do it. Don't do that.
All right, let's do this question.
Yeah.
What should I bring to the hospital
CPAP.
if you have one?
If you are on a CPAP, make sure to bring your CPAP because you will be knocked out, and they will ask you to bring your CPAP because just because you have the surgery doesn't mean your apnea is cleared or cured.
Mhm.
So you will be sleeping a lot because you'll be knocked out because of the anesthesia, which means that if you are on CPAP, you are not breathing very well. So make sure you have your apnea or your CPAP to help you with recovery.
You'll already have your apnea with you.
You have your apnea everywhere you go. um, we actually didn't need to bring much, so it was just like,
Mhm.
we brought like slippers
Mhm.
because we were encouraged to walk around the ward if you could. I could not.
Oh, really?
No, I was the worst post-op, right? Like everyone's like, oh, it's not too
Interesting.
bad. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk.
Because you were like in pain or like still out of it, or how
My
come?
stomach was it's like I ate pizza the day before. But like I couldn't drink water. Like, do you know how they give you like the little pea cups of water? Yeah, just sip it. I couldn't do anything.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It was very painful for me. I really, really, really struggled with that. I had a lot of air in my stomach because they expand your stomach, right? They push air in your
Mhm.
stomach to expand it. And
You
so for
get
me
gas
walking around,
and
yeah, it was
mhm.
very difficult. Um, so yeah, for me it was bring slippers to be able to walk around, to change your clothes, very
Mhm.
loose fitting clothes that's
Mhm.
very comfortable for you. Um, Depending on like with us, we would stay in the hospital for 1 to 2 days afterwards.
Mhm.
So a book, something that you can use to pass the time would be very, very helpful. I like the idea of bringing a little journal and writing down your experience, right? And I think that goes hand in hand with your previous question on how to stay motivated. I like writing down all the little wins that we had, because that is a good way to reflect back on all the good things that are happening to you, as opposed to focusing on all the challenges, which I think is a big part of staying motivated.
Yeah. I would just only add to that, having like tactile things to do, because like so many of us, will tend to eat, like, have food as something to do with our hands at night when you're watching a movie, eating popcorn or doing stuff with your hands. And so I found that like coloring, crocheting, anything that you can do with your hands can be a helpful thing after. For me, I had my surgery in Las Vegas, and it was like an outpatient setting. So I had my surgery and then I was back at the hotel like within a couple hours, like after my surgery was all done. So we had like, things like that we brought after, but like hospital specific, I think it's mainly just stuff to do, a comfortable pillow maybe to like be able to rest on, a blanket from home, stuff that's just kind of like comfy and cozy.
Did we mention extra underwear?
No, but what did you call them? Yeah.
Skivvies. Bring some skivvies.
All right. I think that's a good rule. I feel like I always have
you,
extras just anywhere, anytime. That's just a good rule.
That's probably the because they want you to get up and start walking around, and you got that gown on, and you want to make sure you got something covering you up, because I didn't. So
it was cool with my surgery. They gave us sweats. So you have like a shirt and sweats on, and then they just like pull it down for the surgery and do it, and then put it back up for surgery. I'm like, that's so clever.
I don't want to hear about your surgery.
I know we're gonna make Rob jealous with all of our US stuff.
Come on now.
I didn't have that kind of treatment.
Yeah,
you didn't get sweats.
I didn't get the sweats.
So bring your own if you can.
Yeah.
Bring something that's easy to put on, or maybe a robe or something. Easy on and off, because you're not going to be wanting to bend over and touch your toes right away. You know what I mean? Or put on shoes, so slippers. Something super easy to put on and off, because you're not going to be very mobile.
Yep.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, last question here. Well, actually, let's two questions, and then I think we'll probably be at time. But Rob, this question is for you. Are you on Book Talk perchance? You have a lot of books in the background.
We do have a lot of books. We also have a lot of books that are stacked in our bedroom, because we need to go through these books and get rid of stuff to make space. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna come take some when I come.
Take them all. No, I'm not on anything that's talk. Any longer.
My wife is, though, Autumn. If you want to follow my wife, she is on Book Talk.
What the hell?
We have a library now, technically.
1,000 books, right?
I
just learned that.
Yeah, we have over 1,300 now.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. So she does have a bookstagram and a
bookstagram.
Yeah.
You guys are just making shit up now.
No, it's a thing.
Yeah, I love reading too, so I try to share stuff here and there. Let's see. Okay, for real, last question. This is very general, so I'll leave it up for interpretation for each of us. What should I expect with surgery? We've talked about a lot of that, but anything else?
I mean, there are different types of surgery that you could have. But yeah, I mean, it could be painful. There could be swelling. There could be, I think the one thing that I was the most concerned about was the not making it through the surgery. That was the thing that had me the most scared, was like not waking up. And after doing some research, I found out that that's very, 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 very small, minuscule, amount of people that happens to. But you get shoulder pain from the gas
Mhm.
that they give you
Yeah.
sometimes. It rises after you become mobile and you start walking around, and you get the shoulder pain, the gas pain.
Did either of you float away at all from the gas?
Yeah, I did.
A little bit.
I did.
I had a string.
Yeah, it kept me down. Yeah.
She is always the string on my balloon.
Yeah.
Pull me back.
One thing I will say, like, if you are, we only had one highway. Well, we have other ways to get to downtown Toronto, but the highway is the easiest. It was also under construction, and so there was a lot of bouncing,
Mm.
and
Oh, that's a good
that
point.
was not very comfortable for me. I was in fetal position in the front seat as much as I could because every bounce would hurt.
Mhm.
Those train tracks will get you.
Yeah, right. And so
Or
if
coughing and sneezing.
yeah, things like that. So see if there are different ways that you can sort of manage that ride home. I had the same thing with my skin removal surgery. It was the worst
Yeah.
in terms of that. So I would
it's
look at that.
it's not all doom and gloom either. I mean, it's,
No.
it's a short period of time.
Hmm.
You know, I had almost instant regret when I woke up because I was in so much pain and I hated it.
Interesting.
And I did not. I was, and for probably the first 3 weeks or so, I was just regretting my decision because I'm back on the liquid diet and I wanted it. That pizza was so good. I wanted more of that pizza. But you get that buyer's remorse kind of quickly, and it messes with your head. The number one thing that I will always say is make sure you talk to a therapist before, as much as you can, as
Leading up.
leading up, as far as you can, leading up to it. Talk to a therapist and get your head and screwed on straight and get your thoughts right, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you are mentally healthy, because it takes you on a wild ride. I've never experienced anything like it. It's not a diet, it's not a fad. It is literally a lifestyle change. Everything about your life is going to change. You have to learn how to eat again. You have to learn how to drink again. You have to learn how to it's like being a baby.
Just move your body. Yeah.
And then you get into the giraffe leg syndrome that we talked
Yep.
about, baby giraffe legs, where your body becomes proportioned differently, and you don't, you're walking downstairs and it feels, kind of weird. And I mean, your whole life changes. You have to learn how to walk again. Everything changes, and it's a huge commitment. Would I do it again? 1,000,000 times. 100%. I would do it again, because I would not be here if I didn't. And so I'm glad I did. And I've gained so much. But yeah, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. The pain, the all the bad things about it, worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
One resource I'll throw in too, because I wish I just would have plugged into the community sooner. And if you're in a space of needing more like mental and emotional support and wanting to see like other people's journeys, Dr. Connie Stapleton, we've had her on the show before, and she's been on like 1,000-Pound Sisters, like some of the TLC shows. She has an awesome support group called the Berry Aftercare. And anybody who uses the link, I have one in my personal bio. I think I have one on the waiting table as well, but you can join her support group for free for the first month. And it's a great way just to like meet other people. There's lots of great resources in there. So I'd really encourage you to take advantage of that. If you have questions, just reach out to me and I can share more of the details of that. But I'm doing a support group the first Wednesday of every month in there. So that's a great opportunity to like connect with other people. So just a resource I'll throw in there if you guys are interested.
Cool.
Sounds good.
I dig it.
Anything else? I know we're at time, but
no, that's good.
Yeah, I think Murph, you closed it out the best. Would you do it over again? 100%. Easiest answer ever.
Yep.
Like everything that it's given us, I know for me personally, it can't be replicated. There's nothing else that could have done that, right? So I did not have buyer's remorse early on, and I definitely don't now. It was the best decision that I could have made.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I didn't have buyer's remorse at all, just personally for me. The first 2 weeks were kind of hard after, where I just felt kind of sad, and it was just kind of like the excitement was gone, but I've never regretted it for me at all.
Yeah.
For me, it was the reality of this is my life.
Kind of setting in. Yeah.
It set in really hard, really quickly. And I was just like, shit, what did I just do? Like, undo it. Give me my stomach back, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't. And so that reality sets in. It's like, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, that's, yeah. And, it was a scary feeling. And I think that's when the mental health stuff started happening too. And it was just like, oh God, I should have been in therapy this whole time. What am I doing? And so I've learned a lot of these lessons the hard way, probably because I didn't read the book. And
the bariatric book of all knowing.
And I just did my own thing, you know, but I've learned these lessons and so if you want to know what not to do,
follow Murph at
follow Murph.
Murph's losing it.
Don't eat pizza the night before your surgery.
Don't eat pizza.
Do you feel better after getting that off your chest? I could tell like that was something you were holding on to.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every episode I want to say it.
That's the real imposter syndrome right there.
I go to bed crying.
Yeah.
I go to bed crying like every night. I'm a fraud.
I'm a fraud and a phony.
I'm a fake.
I'm the muffin man.
Oh, you are the muffin man.
I am the muffin man.
What the hell? On that note, we will end it for this week. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we're serving the weight loss community
1 pound at a time.
There he is. See, your mic is cutting out now, Rob. It's like we're tired of you. Oh, there you go.
I know.
Now you're back. I don't know what that is.
Maybe it's with the music. Once you start it, we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
The Muffin Man says good night.
Muffin Man bids adieu.